I don't know. I wanted to keep going more about the PTSD because knowing that I've been diagnosed, one of the big ones that I highlighted here is the avoidance. For a good while, and I think even to this day, one of the things that that puts me in on high alert and puts me in what's the word that was being used that you used a while ago?
Being startled,
No.
wound up, overly alert, irritable.
Overly alert is being around crowds. And I think I've shared that with you. I never enjoyed going to the HEB to do groceries with you. I never did.
Thank goodness for curbside.
Yes, the advances, and that's
I
what
remember even like we went to Six Flags and you were just like,
not happy.
no,
Yeah, I was
oh my god,
on
oh my god,
edge.
we gotta go, we gotta, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
like
you didn't understand it
I
at
didn't.
the time, and
I didn't.
You didn't even try to reason with me. You were just
No,
like,
I wasn't even empathetic at
Yeah,
all.
no.
Why? Because, well, BC, before Christ, but, I mean, selfish. All I'm thinking about, like,
"Oh,
what?
I'm here to have fun.
Well, we're here with the kids. Like, kind of suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing, there was no Christ in our relationship. So, of course, it was just, I was
And
only
some things
thinking
are
about
easier
me.
said than done. For you, it's easy to
Yeah.
say, "Suck it up, Buttercup," but
Yeah.
for the one experiencing it, it's like, man, being around crowds. Because do you know that in Iraq, the crowds would storm as you would pull in a convoy, that the crowds would crowd you, and there's merchants. They're trying to sell you all kinds of stuff, DVDs, alcohol, cigarettes, and all that. And while you're distracted with the crowd, guess what? Somebody's coming and dropping a hand grenade inside your Humvee and blowing y'all up while you're distracted. And there's not only American soldiers being killed, and you got people that are vendors that were innocently trying to just make a buck, make a dollar, make a living, selling to the GIs and getting blown up in the process. So now you had a mass killing there. And why? Because you had some insurgent, trying to just make a name for himself, blowing himself in the name of Allah.
Correct.
So to that, being around crowds, even in being in traffic, when we were in Iraq, we were the lions and they were the sheep. We owned the road. That's what they always told us. When we convoy, we were aggressively convoying. We were pushing cars off the road. We owned the road, and we would drive right in the center of the road. Why? Because the IEDs were on the side of the road. So if we stayed to the center of it, the blast will hopefully not, I mean, you're going to get hit with an IED, but you minimize the blast. So all these things run through your mind. So now you think about it, okay, that happened in combat. You're not in combat no more. Yeah. But those experiences and you lived it, it's hard to turn it off.
Yeah.
And when you even try to turn it off and block it off, certain things bring back those
Correct.
memories
The trigger.
and triggers.
And it could be anything. Like you said, it's
So
part of
for
the five
me,
senses.
the easiest way to avoid all that was avoidance. And it turns out that's one of the symptoms having PTSD. You avoid certain things. That's why I
Isolate,
avoid,
withdrawal.
I don't want to go do those things. Why? Because I don't want to relive that. Because I know that if
Yeah.
I go there, something's gonna trigger.
Yeah. I remember even when we were part of the youth group, right? You were dealing with anxiety, and you were still kind of, you hadn't overcame, had been able to overcome it. And anytime we had any events at the beginning, you were like, like I'd be like, okay, you want to go? And you're like, no, I'm good. Like you just like, so you're right. You were using avoidance because it was a fear, right? Is it going to trigger something? How am I going to feel? Is it going to affect me? Praise God that you don't have to worry about that. I mean, we were just at Peter Piper Pizza and it was packed.
Yeah.
We took the baseball boys that you were coaching.
Yeah.
And so look,
Oh, when
I
I first
mean,
walked in, it was, of course. Now I think I've been able to manage it a lot better, and I don't try to show it to you guys because at the same time, I don't want to ruin your night or your day,
Yeah.
from fun activities just all because I don't want to be there. But was I sitting down?
no, you're
What was I
standing.
doing?
You were standing.
I was standing, even though we had 3 tables. I was standing.
Yeah.
What was I doing?
You were talking to people, but you were,
Looking around.
yeah.
I mean, I had chameleon eyes. One eye's on one person, the other eye's on somebody else, and I'm just, my head's on a swivel, just
Yeah.
because, to me, it's unfamiliar territory, and I got to be aware of my surroundings at all
Yeah.
times. So